Welcome to the Sharkpreneur podcast with Kevin Harrington and Seth Greene. Kevin Harrington is the inventor of the infomercial, one of the original sharks from the hit TV show Shark Tank, and has generated over $5 billion in TV and digital direct response sales. Seth Greene is the world's first trusted authority on cutting-edge direct response marketing, a best-selling author, and the only 3-time Marketer of the Year nominee. On the podcast, Kevin and Seth interview sharkpreneurs who share straight talk on what it takes to explode your business.
Why do so many businesses struggle while others seem to explode overnight? Do you wish you had the secret to this type of exponential growth? Now, I've scaled more than 20 businesses to over $100 million, and it's not just luck. In my new book with Mark Tim, Mentor to Millions, you'll learn the repeatable framework I use in all my business ventures for massive success. Order at kevinmentor.com and get over $1,000 in bonuses. Head to kevinmentor.com.
Welcome to the podcast. This is Seth Greene, your host. Today, I've got the good fortune of interviewing Michael DeLon, who creates credibility. As president of Paperback Expert, he helps business owners publish a book that positions them as an expert in their field. Michael, thanks so much for joining us.
Hey, you're welcome, Seth. It's going to be a great conversation. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. My pleasure. Let's go back in time a little bit. How did you get started?
Seth, this whole thing started when I escaped from prison. Believe it or not, now it wasn't a literal prison; it was emotional prison. I was in a family ministry for about a decade, served on the leadership team. They went through some reorganizations, and my name's got off the leadership team, and they started shuffling me around the ministry. My background's in Christian radio and marketing, helping small businesses grow, and so I escaped from prison on January 1st, 2013. That's when I left the ministry, started a marketing consulting firm. And I'd come out and talk with you about your business and business growth. Seth, we'd have a great conversation. And you'd say, now, Michael, what have you done for the last few years? And I'd say, I've helped build marriages and families at Family Life. And you'd say, that's so honorable. Way to go, Michael. Oh, look at the time. I've got another meeting coming up, right? You'd usher me out the door. I wasn't gaining a client. And I thought, man, I got to fix this. So I went to my church, paced the hallways, cried out to God, said, what do I do? And he gave me the idea to put all of my marketing strategies in a book. So I created my first book on marketing back in 2013. Then I'd set an appointment with you, Seth. I'd mail a copy of my book to you. I'd walk into your office a week later, and there it was. My book was on your desk, dog-eared, highlighted, and underlined. And in that meeting, you'd say, now, Michael, in your book, you said, how do you help me do that? And I started gaining clients. And Seth, the only thing that changed between that first meeting I had with you and the second was the fact that I was a published author. And when you got a copy of my book, I instantly became an expert in your mind, and you hired me. And I said, why don't more business owners do this for their marketing? And so that was the seed that got planted that today is Paperback Expert, where we help business owners create a book without writing a word so they'll gain clients, get referrals, and grow revenue.
All right. That is absolutely fantastic. I'm sure the longer version of that story is in the book.
Oh, totally.
Absolutely, because I know there was a lot more to it than that.
Yeah.
So let's dive in. So I'm a business owner. Why do I want a book in the first place?
Yeah. Number one, so you're not a coffee bean anymore, Seth. Coffee beans are great. I love coffee, but you pour out coffee beans on your table, on your desk. They look the same. They sound the same. In business, I don't care what you do. You're a coffee bean most likely because you're going to look like and sound like all of your competitors. You're not giving your audience a reason to choose you. But when you put your expertise into a book, in our culture, experts have books. So it differentiates you immediately. It gives you something to give to your prospect, whether it's electronic or in physical print. I prefer physical. So that they can spend an hour or two reading your book, having a conversation with you, getting to know you, warming up to you. What we have forgotten, Seth, is that people make decisions emotionally first, then we back it up with logic. So our whole philosophy is to win the heart and the mind will follow. It gives you a marketing piece to put in someone's hand. It gives you a great way to get referrals from your happy clients, so they'll hand your book out. There are so many ways to use a book to differentiate yourself. That's why you should create a book.
Absolutely. We are biased here, of course, and I've written 9 myself. So let's talk about the challenges. What are the biggest misconceptions business owners have about the process?
Yeah. Number one, they have to write the book. That's the first thing is they're like, well, I'm not a writer. I don't want to stare at a screen. And I tell people, Seth, never write a book. Okay. We encourage you to speak to write your book. You're an expert at what you do. You've got everything in your head that you need to create your book. So build an outline first. Use Word, Google Docs. I don't care. Use the dictate function and speak to write your book. Get your content onto paper and then come back and edit it or hire somebody to edit it, right? Number one, get it out. I think another big misconception is once I publish my book, the world's going to beat a path to my door. Ain't going to happen. Sorry. You're on Amazon for credibility purposes, but you want your book on your website as lead generation. You want to put it into the hands of your prospects, your centers of influence, your clients. Let them propagate your message for you. So business owners think wrongly about the benefits of being an author, right? Unless your name's Stephen King, you're not getting rich selling that thing online, but that's a good thing.
Now, what you are absolutely right. How does Paperback Expert, how do you help your clients get through that process?
Yeah. So we have a staff of writers, Seth, and we connect you with one of our writers who, through conversations very similar to this, we're going to ask questions and you can talk about your business all day long, Seth. We ask questions. We guide you to build that outline, and then we guide you through the process of speaking to write your book. Then we actually do the writing of your book, but it's in your voice, your tone, your message, because this is your book. You're the expert. We're just doing all the hard work. We've got graphic artists. We publish you to Amazon, to Kindle. We make you best-selling author. We create podcasts. We do all of that for you. If you can show up on a few phone calls and give us about 24 hours of your time over about a 5 to 7 month period of time, we're going to have your book created.
That is absolutely incredible. Now, you've achieved some amazing results for your clients. Can you talk a little bit about kind of what they came to you for and then what the magical transformation was?
Well, yeah, most of my business owners come to me, my clients come to me because they're struggling with marketing. They're trying to get more clients. They're competitive, right? And we say, okay, great. What's your story? That's where we always start, because Seth, you've got a reason, a story behind why you do what you do, because you're a smart guy. You could be doing 1,000 different things. We want to get your story because usually it's that story that separates you. Number one, once we get that story, we create your book, and then we teach you our marketing systems. These are step-by-step guides of how to use your book. And what happens is because you're coming at marketing from a very personal, relational perspective, it not only sets you apart, but it endears your audience to move closer to you. And we tell our clients, don't focus so much on the 3% of the audience who are in the market today, right? The myth out there is I need more leads because I'm not converting enough. What about the 97% of the people who are going to buy in the next 90 days to 3 years? Are you staying in front of them? So we have systems that we give our clients to do that. Case in point, financial advisor in Branson, Missouri came to me. He was on radio. He had a book that he was giving, somebody else's book, right? One of those presented by things. And it was okay. But he said, Michael, I've got to do my own thing, write my own book. He had a compelling story. So we helped him do that. And today his business is probably seriously 30 times bigger than it was when he first came to me, because he's a good marketer. He's consistent on radio, and his call to action is not call my office. It's call to get a free copy of my book. So he mails his book out. They read his book. They walk into his office, book in hand, dog-eared highlight. They know he's the guy they want to work with. So he gets the sale. Then they say, hey, can I get a few more copies of your book to hand out to them? They're asking him for copies of his book. And he's like, yeah, would you like 5 or 10? Okay. It's changed everything about his marketing because he stopped chasing people, and he's got people requesting valuable information from him that tells his story, that compels them. It just happens time after time.
You are absolutely right there. Now, you talk about something called credibility quotient. What does that mean?
So you've got a credit card. We all have these credit cards, right? We have credibility score or credit scores that we all work to get better, right? Because we get better interest rates and things. Credibility score, credibility quotient, is your score of credibility. How does your audience think you're credible or not? Well, how do we know that? So we created a credibility calculator. It's at my website. It's free. In under 5 minutes, by answering 20 simple questions, I will give you your credibility score on a 0 to 100 basis, and then follow that up with 5 videos that will teach you how to increase the credibility in the eyes of your audience. So that's at paperbackexpert.com. You'll find it is really easy.
That is absolutely incredible and a really, really useful tool. With all the success you've achieved, what's your biggest challenge now?
Just propagating my message, honestly. I can't believe how many people, Seth, I talk to who go, wow, didn't know you existed, right? I thought I had to go write my book. And that's why I do podcasts like this. That's why we hold events and networking events and things. It's just letting people know that it is possible for you to create your book without writing a word, get it done, and then use it for the rest of your career. So it's, for me, it's just letting people know that there is an option that can help them get their book done, tell their story, and connect with their audience.
And I mean, your passion is obvious. What do you like best about what you're doing?
Yeah, I honestly love those stories that come back. I mean, this is really what I'm created to do. I only do 4 things well, Seth. This is one of them. But it's when a business owner gets the light bulbs, the transformation comes on, and they call me. I got a call a few weeks ago from a client, financial advisor. He said, "Hey, DeLon, I just got to tell you this story." He picked up a client that was a referral from a client, right? Using his book. His client gave their friend a copy of his book. They read it. They called him. They became a client. He's like, that is so cool. I love it when that happens. That gives me more joy than probably anything else, to know that this works, and it works month in and month out. Unlike so many other marketing systems and things that you're going to do, you invest in a book one time, you get it created, and it's there for the rest of your career. It pays you back month in, month out.
Absolutely. I love that. Now, you also talk about the benefits of podcasting. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, I think podcasting is a great credibility platform. It's another way for you to really connect at the heart level, right? When I read your book, I should be hearing you and getting to know you. But when I can listen to your podcast or watch a video of you being interviewed on your book, it allows me to step in and go, okay, I do like this guy. He just said something. And when there's that consistency, right? Why do we want Zoom meetings? Why do we want in-person meetings? Why do we meet clients? It's to build common ground and say, are we a good fit? You can do that through podcasting, number one. Number two, for a business owner, a podcast should be a revenue stream. We have systems where we teach business owners how to create a profitable podcast by using it. It's a VIP ticket to talk with virtually anybody you want to talk to. So centers of influence, primarily people who have your audience. We have a structured system that you use your podcast to get in to see them, and then they promote you to their audience. It's a phenomenal platform for credibility, but also for profit.
All right. And for our folks listening or watching to this podcast who want to learn more about your process, where is the best place for them to go?
Paperbackexpert.com.
Well, we greatly appreciate your time. We know it's incredibly valuable. This has been Seth Greene with Michael DeLon of paperbackexpert.com. Michael, thanks so much for joining us.
You're welcome, Seth. I appreciate the opportunity.
Thanks, everybody, for watching or listening. We'll talk to you or see you next time.
Do you need money to fund your idea, product, or service? Are you ready to take your business to the next level but need capital to get it done? Kevin Harrington has heard more than 50,000 pitches and knows how to help you make the perfect pitch to get the funding for your entrepreneurial dream. He's distilled the process down in his perfect pitch cheat sheet, and it's yours for free. Just text PITCH to him right now at 727-888-2100. Text PITCH to 727-888-2100 right now and claim your free perfect pitch cheat sheet. Text PITCH to 727-888-2100 to start funding your dream today.
This show has been produced by Market Domination, LLC. To discover how you can have your own show completely done for you and turn it into a real published book and become the authority in your marketplace, go to www.marketdominationllc.com/podcast offer.